Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Shared Spaces with Chap, Quida, and Dayson. This evening, we have some young guests from Baltimore who are some young entrepreneurs that are here to share some of their experience with us. And we'll just get started. If we want to start with Zion, you want to go ahead and share with us your name and what you do?
Yeah, sure. I'm Zion Pettiford. I'm currently a graduating senior at Carver Hall. I just graduated. I got accepted into North Carolina and me going up there my
Whoa,
freshman year.
excellent, man. All right. Elijah, while Charlie's having some difficulties here, but Elijah, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Elijah Diggs. I'm currently a junior at Archbishop Curley High, and I make and sell soap.
He makes and sells soap, and he's been doing it for a while, which is a unique and interesting trade. Looks like we lost our third person, Charlie. Charlie started a lawn mowing business. Actually, a couple days ago, got a lawnmower, started hitting doors and building up some customers. So we'll try and get him back as soon as possible. And Zion, um, alongside of his accomplishments educationally, I think when you were 15, started a clothing brand business, if I'm not
Right,
mistaken.
right, yeah.
Yep, yep. He started a clothing brand, Legendary. And as it goes, life happens, and however, he was successful in his business, and I just wanted him to share his experience, starting the business, sharing your experience of how you actually got derailed, because that's part of being an entrepreneur, right? We have these ideas, we start things, other things happen. So I think all of it is all encompassing and important for the narrative. Hey, Quita, real quick, I'm going to introduce Charlie, get him on here, and then we'll introduce Miss Danielle and Quita. So, Charlie, if you're going to introduce yourself and share with everyone what your entrepreneurship exploration that you're starting.
Hello, my name's Charles, and I'm just starting out with the lawnmower business. Um, Honestly, I thought I was going to do it with my dad. He, out of nowhere, said it's my business, I go fast. So, I'm kind of figuring it out. I'll be honest, the first day I tried to go by myself and knock on the door, and I felt extremely nervous because I'm not very comfortable walking on people's property because I feel like I'm like invading their privacy, and like I'm a big guy, so I kind of look weird. I think I look a little suspicious, but other than that, I think after I get past that, I'll be able to like after I build like a foundation of people have like customers, now I can sort of like weekly or whatever, and then you know that that'll be like easy after that. But at first, it's very difficult for me. Like I said, I'm not very comfortable doing that, but I just go out to people, I offer my help, and yeah.
Awesome. So, Charlie, that being said, I'll say real quick, is, he's real good at cutting grass. He's real good at what he does. And his comfort zone is not doing like basically marketing, which is okay. Because then what you do is you pack yourself with people that are good at that around you. And you say, hey, can you hand out business cards for me? Hey, can you and a lot of times Elijah and Zion, like with your service, Zion, and your shirts, and Elijah with your soap, like the quality of soap, your work speaks for itself and becomes a marketing within itself. Real quick, before we get too deep in conversation, I want to introduce Ms. Danielle. Or if you want to introduce yourself, because I don't know what you want to reveal about yourself. I won't spill the beans, though.
Hey, is my audio good?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Danelle Pender. I'm the founder of Excellence and Ambition, and we do a lot. But I am here specifically to talk about YEP, which is Youth Entrepreneurship Program, and we help young people between the age of 14 to 21 to start businesses. We also support them in their vision. So whatever it is that whatever it is that they want to do, they come to us with their idea. We help them put their idea on paper in a business plan, and then we put them in the direction of success by giving them consistent support with workshops, seminars, and and family to try to make sure they push the idea forward. We also have YBC, which is our arts and creative space, and then workforce development, where we teach the same demographic of not only how to get a job but keep a job. And we also focus on financial literacy and economic empowerment, because we consistently, today we even had our first session on creating multiple streams of income. And so yes, you want to have your day job, but your day job should be what you're using to fund your dream and fund your ambitions and fund the anointing that God has placed in you. And so that's who we are. That's what we're about. I'm here to hear what you guys have to say, and I want to invite you all to participate in our pitch contest coming up on August 29th, and I'll get into more details about that later.
All right, we have thank you, Danielle. We have Lewis joining us by phone, president of PowerFest Baltimore. Lou, if you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, Lewis Thomas here. Definitely a frequent flyer on the show. Of course, PowerFest Baltimore is my nonprofit organization, and thank you, Chap and Quida and Dayson and everyone else for stepping in and helping out with this venture, partnering with me with this venture. But the main thing I'm on the phone for today is about entrepreneurship, because I know that's what this call is all about. And I actually have my for-profit business, which is Detail Butler, and it's a auto detailing concierge service. So as we get into the show, I'll talk more about that. But and also it's all about the young people. So if they have any questions or anything, we can go from there.
All right, and Lewis is actually helping Charles and his brother Vershawn with their businesses as well. So Vershawn is probably not get on the show, but he washes and details cars as well. Charlie cutting the grass. Lewis is helping to streamline customers and get them busy. Last but certainly not least, because the first shall be last, is the host, Miss Quida from Baltimore Homes. If you can introduce yourself to my peers.
Absolutely. Thank you. So I am Laquita Chansey, hey fam, and I am the founder and director of Baltimore Homes, and that is a nonprofit that focuses on affordable housing. We build micro shelters and tiny homes and redline communities here in Baltimore. But because of today in entrepreneurship, I want to talk about like some of the side hustles that I have and the for-profit that made me start my nonprofit. I realized that in my for-profit Xavier Estates, I wanted to rehab houses in blighted areas, same ideology as Baltimore, but I wanted to create new homeowners that look like me, right? But as people were coming to open houses, they were like, no, home ownership is too hard. Grandma's house looked crazy. What happens if something happens? All these things. And I just realized the need wasn't there. So I still do financial literacy. So I definitely want to talk to your kids and, work with them, Donnell. I think that that's awesome. But also like writing about your experiences and just talking about the life that you've already lived, there's value in that. Charles, like you said, you feel some sort of way walking up, doing your business. You could not feel that way. But to Chap's point, maybe branding, wearing a t-shirt and a cap that has a lawnmower on it to disarm people and start to let them know who you are before they even talk to you. You know what I mean? But those are small tweaks and things that you learn going through the business. So there's so much struggle in it, but the beauty and the more that you gain is going to be in that struggle. So know that everybody on here is here to help you in whichever way you need.
Absolutely. And these guys are literally my family. So Zion, I wanted to start with you. And we'll get to Elijah because I know he doesn't like to talk too much. But I wanted to start with you because you started a business a couple years ago, actually. And what was that? What did that look like? How was your journey? Where did it lead?
Okay, so actually, I always wanted to own something of my own. That's always I was brought up and taught that to have your own is the right way to go. You don't want to work for someone all your life. I was bred that at a young age, and My mom is an entrepreneur. She owns her own business. My father is an entrepreneur. He owns his own business. They've been doing it their whole entire lives, so it's kind of in my genes. Um, so growing up, I used to, like draw logos. I used to draw like lightning bolts, and try and figure out like express myself, bring me out. What do I want to, you know, do? What does my image want to look like? And I would say around ninth grade, my freshman year of high school, and sophomore year is when I started to really start thinking to myself, I can physically do this. Like I can really create my own brand. This isn't just me drawing pencil and paper. I can really make this a thing. Um, and I did. I talked to my mother about it. Um, and she was willing to help me out. But again, um, from my upbringing, she told me this is mine. I have to do the work. She's not going to do it for me. This is, so she helped me when I needed help, but I think it was really important that she taught me the importance of making it mine. So I designed my own website. Um, I designed my own logo. I found my own contacts to go and help me out with screen printing. I had to learn what screen printing was. I didn't know what it was at first. Um, Screen printing is just, the process of putting an image on a shirt or a hoodie or whatever apparel. That simple. Um, and first thing I did was I bought in bulk um, a bunch of white hoodies, uh, black t-shirts, and white t-shirts. And I just I got them screen printed, my image, my logo. Um, and before I released anything like to the public, before I started actually selling them, um, my mother told me I should work on marketing. So I was like, "What's that?" Again, she told me you want to build up anticipation, you want to post on social media. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So she told me you want to post on social media, you want to get it out there so people can know.
It went out again.
Yeah, his phone keeps coming out. Looks like he's coming back.
Okay, sorry, had a little connection issue. Um, but she said you want to get it out there, and you don't just want family and friends to buy it. You want to create real customers, real people that you don't know. You want to make real sales. Um,
Hey, hey, we're real customers too.
right, of course, right. Um, and I went and did a photo shoot. I got one of my friends. Um, we all did a photo shoot. Got a bunch of friends. We went down to the harbor. We had a good time. Um, I gave them free shirts. Like I let them keep the shirts that they took pictures with. That's another marketing tactic. They get the free shirt, and they promoted themselves. Um, and I made my own Instagram page for it, and I went from there. So after I got all of that set up, that's when I started to really release it out to the public. I said, "Hey, I'm selling shirts, I'm selling hoodies. You want to tell everyone, you want to tell friends, family, um, just everyone people you're going to school with, old friends, even people you haven't talked to in a long time. You want to network, you want to socialize. That's a big part of business." But after a while, I sold everything out. I did a good job. But for me personally, at the time, I was caught up in school. I was playing football, so it was like all a lot at once, and it was hard to maintain a brand the right way because you don't want to just start a brand and be half about it. If you start a brand, you want to be fully into it. You don't want to half do anything. Everything you do to its fullest. So I decided for the moment, I was going to stop. Whether I was going to pick it back up again, I wasn't sure, but I know that I didn't want to have to it. I wanted to, if I was going to do it, I wanted to fully do it. So yeah, that's my experience with it. Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. And I think you'll find as you have these conversations, I find that entrepreneurs aren't married to one thing that they do. Like you said, you're doing a t-shirts, playing football, doing well in school because you announced earlier you're going to North Carolina. Entrepreneurs do a little bit of everything. Like there's not a whole lot we say no to. If we can make money doing it and we see the path, like you go for it, right? So I thank you for sharing, Zion. Elijah, I'm gonna save Charlie for last, but Elijah. So Elijah has a unique skill set. So he comes from a family of artists and musicians. The Diggs and the Duttons in Baltimore are like hood famous. I don't know if he knows this, but his auntie used to sing opera and jazz. She used to lead church and music at the oldest Catholic church in the world, the Basilica. His family, his parents are very artistic. His aunties. That being said, Elijah, how did you get started making soap? Because it's so weird and creative, but like it suits you. Like, how did you get started? Tell your story, bro? Because it's like weird but awesome. Like we love it.
I was bored, and people at my school didn't really smell the best. So I decided to like take it into my own hands and start making and selling soap. The first batch I ever made didn't really end well. It was like ugly, didn't smell the best. But I came a long way. I have some with me right now. This is what it looks like currently. You know, smells good. It's natural. Has good fragrances. You know, like coconut oil, honey, all that good stuff. You know.
Yeah, this guy coffee flavored soap. He makes like really neat stuff. He's getting nice with the design. So I want to comment. I noticed you said kids at your school didn't really smell good. So you started this business meeting a need of your community,
Yeah.
which I think is also interesting, right?
Right. I'm thinking to myself, that's community organizing at its best, right?
Yeah.
Like you see a need, you solve it, whether you're making money off of it or not. Like that's community organizing because you're recognizing something in your community. So my question is like, how did you know how to make soap? Like, how did that happen?
I did research, YouTube, Google links, you know, all that. I read a lot. Yeah. I just did a bunch.
So you taught yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
That's beautiful. And how old are you, Elijah? If you don't mind me asking, 16?
Yes, ma'am.
But he's been making soap for years. Years.
Yeah,
So and I'll tell you, one of his things was just being new to it and not having like necessarily the money on his mind, just meeting the need. He just gave soap away. And me and the family were like, no, bro, like let us pay you for this. Like, your time is valuable. What you're doing is valuable. And if I can give you $5 for a decent bar of soap rather than like some corporation, I'm gonna do it and support Baltimore. And there's so many people that don't think like that. So we kind of had to force it on him because he's a very humble dude. But when I tell you his soap is not just like you're not just getting clean, like it's very personal. If he knows you like coffee, like I said, he'll make a coffee smelling soap. If if he knows you like lavender and honey and all this other stuff, like he makes it for the individual. It's like very personal.
It's like customized soap. It's like a spa experience almost. So Elijah, if somebody wanted to support you and purchase some soap, like how would they do that? Are you only doing pop-ups? Do you have a website or Instagram?
I have an Instagram currently. Yeah. It's 410 ELO. 410 ELO. You know.
All right, I'll get that on the screen. And that's kind of why I have Quida had these guys on here to talk to you and think about those things, and Danielle and Lou, because these guys are good at what they do. I just want them to be able to connect and do it better. You know what I mean?
Right. And so I know we're on Elijah, and before we get to Charles, Zion, if somebody wanted to purchase a t-shirt or get a t-shirt made, how would someone support you if they wanted to support you, or how would they get in touch with you to collaborate?
So I think for Zion, unless he's frozen, I don't know if he can hear us or not.
And
He so he was sharing that he finished and sold out his inventory that he had, and that he was pursuing education and other things currently. So once he sold out of his inventory, he hasn't revisited his brand. So he hasn't done it for about a year or two.
So he just stopped completely. So not even custom screen printing or anything. Okay.
No, if I can get him on here connected well, we'll revisit that. And Charlie, once you get settled, we'll revisit you. So I'll let him get on and talk about it. But yeah, and that's why I wanted him to share his story. Is that he got started, he was successful, but then he made some different decisions, and he wasn't able to pour 100% into his brand, and he didn't want to
recognize that.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it half.
Yeah.
So Zion, she was asking.
I'm sorry, I disconnected again.
No, that's fine. She was asking how to connect with your brand, and I was sharing that this was actually a couple years ago. You did the brand, right? You copy that, Zion? He might be stuck. No.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us.
Anyway, that's the story. Is that he
only hear you?
Oh, you can only hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's fine. So let me go ahead and ask you a couple of questions. So you got cut off. So go ahead and finish your story. As long as you can communicate with one of us, it's fine.
I can communicate with you. What's the question?
So go ahead and finish your story, because where you left off, or where you started to get disconnected, was it was too much going on and you decided to shelf the business for a little while. So what is it that you're up to now? So there's like a chunk of some time that we're missing.
Right. Well, really, honestly, I just kind of cut it off completely. There's not really much business wise after that. I just kind of cut it off completely, put it on hold until another time when I feel more comfortable doing it, when I feel like I have time, when I feel like I'm committed to it.
Absolutely, because systems are important. And you were saying you didn't have any systems and you were kind of working through it as things came to you. So right now, are you a full-time student?
Yes.
And what school are you at?
I just finished my last year at Cabot Hall, and I'm going to North Carolina A&T.
North Carolina A&T, yes, HBC, you love. Okay. And what's your major going to be?
Kinesiology. Kinesiology is the study of sport medicine and science, but my concentration is going to be in sport management.
Okay, Dr. Zion, you could still be sports management with a whole doctor in front of your name, but I understand that. Okay, so that's awesome. That's awesome. And then, so for sports management, are you thinking of maybe being an agent, or have you even gotten that far? Are you thinking of branding like your own sort of marketing firm? Where are we going with this?
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what I'm going for. I want to have my own agency. Specifically because I kind of have a passion for that. I've always been a sports player, and like me being an athlete, I understand athletes, and I know so many people that's like they have talent, but they don't have a way of getting it out there or pushing it out there. So it's like, if I can be that way of them getting out, if I can be that way of pushing them out there, I love to do that, and I love to go to school to learn how to do that and officially.
I mean, and now that kids can make money earlier, I mean
right, the like NCAA rule change.
So are you playing football for A&T?
No, I'm not.
So you're not playing football for A&T, but you played sports probably all of your life and still play sports on the weekend and constantly in that arena. So that part, we know you have that marketing part down. But
he may end up being a team manager.
Right, a whole team manager, Chap is saying. Like, there's so much that you can do just as a Okay, so you got this all figured out. Okay, so thank you for divulging, because we were all sitting here like, so what's up now? So we know what's going on with you now, Elijah. You gave us your Instagram, and so Chap, did you want to go to Charles? It looks like
Yeah.
he's settled.
So, yeah, he settled the house. So Charlie, I guess he shared a little bit. So I will share with you a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week ago. It's been pretty recent. He bought a mower. A couple weeks before that, we had bought a trimmer. We've been trickling buying these little tools, and he has set foot into the entrepreneur world, and just started. Like that's it. He just started. Charlie, I don't know if you want to talk about it. Like, what was it like for you getting started, or maybe share your experience about walking home from Granny's yesterday and picking up a job, and I don't know. What do you want to share with us?
If I'm being real honest, I didn't. I thought it was gonna be a me and you thing, and I would just help you out. I didn't expect to do it on my own until you said that. I was like, oh crap! And all the information you unloaded on me that day, I just felt super nervous and like misdirected. Like I felt like I have no idea. I have no direction. I don't know how to do this. And I tried going up to the first door that one day, and I knocked, and I was so nervous. I just walked away. I genuinely I don't know what to do, and I didn't expect to,
Let me encourage you
my
on
own
live.
business.
Let me encourage you on live TV in front of everybody. It is you and me, but I'm trying to teach you to do it because I'm not going to be around forever. I'm not always available, so maybe not the best tactic, but I'm trying to empower you.
But more importantly, Chap, no, all entrepreneurs feel like, what the hell am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. At some point, I would say some entrepreneurs, maybe 5% get like instant success. But at the beginning, you're running off of adrenaline and excitement, but at some point you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. What was I thinking when I did this? Who do I talk to solve this problem? I'm about to just go back to work. So please believe all of those feelings were completely normal. You're not weird. It's anxiety. You're doing something you never did before, but guess what? People do it every day, B.
And I will say that he has a great support system. And that's my point, is that this is going to be all you. But at the same time, you have the full support of myself, Lewis, Danelle, Quida, everybody on the show, and everybody that you've met since you moved to Baltimore. We're all here to support your efforts and whatever that looks like. And sometimes that looks like me shouldering next to you and cutting grass. And sometimes it looks like me not helping you so you can have those experiences and those shared entrepreneurship, like anxiety, right? Yeah. And it's okay not to be good at everything, because that's when you elicit help from someone who is good at that, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, so there's so many things that you can do to get rid of that angst. You can start by putting flyers or door hangers on the doors before you go and knock on them, like the night before or 2 days before, just so that they know, your business or your brand. And you can run off some flyers at Staples. You don't have to be super fancy with it. It's just that would make you more comfortable. It's almost like, here's my business card and I'll see you in a couple of days. So then when you knock on the door, that can be a conversation starter. Hey, you probably saw my flyers around, blah, blah, blah. I cut Mr. Green up the street or around the block, whatever. But the things that you're talking about are the simplest things to go ahead and get over. So keep telling us what the problems are, because that's nothing.
Yeah, okay. And we'll keep helping with them. So I'll share, the other day, of course, Zion was saying the difference between real customers and family. Everyone starts with family. Your first customer is going to be your mom, your grandmother, your auntie, someone who you trust, who's family, who believes in you and is trying to get you started, right? So, for Charlie, he was over cutting Granny's yard Sunday. Was it Sunday? and he's walking home with the weed eater, walking like 5 or 6 blocks with the tools on his shoulder. A guy at the garage, Mr. Jeff over at Mr. Tire in Parkville, says, "Hey, buddy, I'll give you $20, man. You want to weed eat my lot real quick?" He picked up his first customer just like that, taking care of Granny, right? And I thought that was really cool. And I want him to experience those things. I want him to experience the confidence of me not handing him a job. Like he got that on his own. We went back and he was having some tool trouble. Like you talk about, like, you can share the experience, Charlie, because you have a better perspective. Like share with us, like what happened, right?
Yeah, so when I was walking over to my granny's, like he just called me out, like he noticed I had the weed whacker and offered me $20 to do his stuff, and I was like, okay. And so I did it, but then, I wasn't experienced. I'm not experienced or knowledgeable of the like weed whacker and stuff, and I didn't realize the lines are, the little things that cut it were too short, and so I did cut it, but it wasn't like short enough. And my dad noticed it, so we went back and hit the rest of it once I figured out how to work the thing. And he said he'll probably use me every 2 weeks. So he was cool about it, and he was real nice. He gave me a water. He treated me well. It was
and it's on-the-job training, right? On-the-job experience. Like he wasn't as familiar with his tools Sunday as he is now. He figured it out. We went back. Not only that, but he had the integrity to go back and do a better job because he acknowledged, like, not knowing what to do. We just went back and we redid it and did it well. And the guy was really encouraged by that, right? To see the integrity of a young man who could have just taken his money, walk away, come back and say, no, you know what? I can do better. Come back and do better. And then so the next, and I was encouraged.
Probably got the repeat work.
Yes. And
like you're invited back. Like, please come back because now I can trust you to do exactly what needs to be done, even if I'm not watching, right?
Yeah.
And then Sunday, I told him we go out and knock on some doors, and I teach him how to do some outreach. And he's nervous, and he had shared that he was nervous. So I was like, well, I'll go with you, man. We'll figure it out. And I'm good at talking to people and stuff. And you're going to get your people who just don't even want to answer the door, and that's fine. But we ended up, like, the first door we knocked on, the lady was like, oh my gosh, you can share the story, Charlie. It's your story, bro. I don't want to steal your thunder, man. So how'd you feel when I said we're going to go knock on doors? Like, what was that experience like?
Felt a little more comforting since, like, you're with me. But when we knocked on the first lady's door, she looked, I could tell just by looking at her, she looked a little nervous, like, because I could see it in her face. But then once my dad explained it, when we started explaining it, she was relieved and actually glad that there's people to help her, because she offered $60 for us to cut it, and she was like really happy about it because she couldn't find anyone else to do it.
Yeah, and that's along the lines of like what Elijah said. Like, we saw a need, we saw her yard was out of control, and we just said we'll cut it. We didn't even tell her we'd charge her. We're just like, you know what, we'll cut it today and figure it out. And she came, when we were done, she didn't say 2 words. She came out and gave Charlie $60, and it was just like that. Like, now he has a second customer, and we're just meeting a need in the community. And then there's other people saw us out there. We knocked on some doors, and it's my neighborhood. People know me and stuff, and they're like, oh, my father-in-law needs his lawn cut. I'll pay you now to go do it. So we met some people, and the one guy was like, oh, my 2 neighbors down there, they need it cut. And so just by being out there and being present, he was building clientele. We handed out a bunch of cards for his little business. And besides that, just doing a good job and doing it with integrity, those 2 things will take him a long way,
Yeah, and it sounds like y'all are only doing it in your neighborhood. Like, imagine if you went beyond the neighborhood or started an Instagram page, or, you know what I mean? So that more than just where your feet could get you is where your message is reaching to. So yeah, Danielle, come off mute. I keep seeing you mumbling and talking and shaking your head. Get in the conversation because you talk to people about.
Amen. You said it. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Amen. Yes. But you just said, utilizing social media as a platform would be great, especially before and after pictures. Before you get started, take some pictures of the space, and of course ask, can you take pictures of somebody's property? Take the pictures and then do it before and after on your Instagram or your social media. You can also put before before and afters on your flyers. So once you create flyers, or like you can put a before and after on the actual flyer with your name and your Instagram and your contact information. And as you're going out and mowing lawns, make sure you put some of them flyers in the on the houses of where you just did, and say, hey, this house, that house right there, I did that. So so the neighborhood can literally see what you've done before and know and can see you on a regular basis. So all those are great pointers. Like you said, I love what you said about branding, wearing your shirt, wearing your hat, so that everybody knows who you are when you come into the space. They know, oh, that's the guy that does lawn care. Let me go ahead and set my schedule up, set my appointment with him next week. And so that way, when you get into the neighborhood and you start cutting, that's your self-advertising right there. So yeah, that's all I was. Yes, yes. Amen.
So then I had a question for you. You had mentioned something about an event. Is that something where like
Yes.
these guys,
So
like let's say for instance,
we
Elijah has, so where it makes
yeah. We have 3 events, but 2 specific to the entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs. So our pitch contest is on the 29th, which is next Thursday. Young people come. If you've seen Shark Tank, then you know what I'm talking about. You come, you present your business, your concept, what it is that you're doing to a panel. You have 5 minutes to present. And it is a contest. And so the winners, the first place gets 500, the second place gets 250, and the third place gets a $100. And that goes towards your business, whether it is to incorporate if you choose to. And what we do is we literally go over every part of business. What's the difference between an LLC, a sole proprietorship, S Corp, B Corp. Like we go through those during our sessions. And so right now we are preparing young people for the pitch, but it is open to any young entrepreneur, in Baltimore City who wants to compete for the prize, what I just said. Also the panelists, and if any other entrepreneurs, who want to help, bring them under your wing, mentorship. This is the perfect opportunity to find a young person that might be a good fit for your mentorship. So yeah, and that's one event. The other event is the Be More Lit pop-up. And so at Sister Saving the City, 4236 Pimlico Road, we are doing a pop-up event. So if you are a vendor and you would like to come out and have your table, we're going to have a stage if you're an artist and want to hit the stage, all that great stuff. Chap's been to a couple of our events and stuff, and they always great. And come through, get you a table, have your setup.
So is that where both of the events are? Because at the beginning you said just come to the pitch. So where do they come?
The pitch contest. Who's in person? So the young people who are in person and the panelists are in person. Everyone else is chiming in virtually. You're gonna be able to watch it virtually over our YouTube page, and most likely the live stream on Facebook as well. For the Be More Lit, that is on August the 6th, which is the following Friday, and that is in person at the building as well. So both are happening in the building, but one is a hybrid, the other one is all in person.
Go ahead, Chap.
How would you sign up?
So if I'm a youth vendor, is there how do they sign up? Is there a fee to be out there?
It is free for youth age 4. So rewind back. Pitch contest. If you would like to be a part of the pitch contest, you can email me, and I will put my email in the chat. For you guys, email me directly, and then I will line you up. Get you in touch with the person who is. So Yamadi Pender is my daughter, and she's organizing the YEP. It's her first time organizing the pitch contest, so she's doing a great job so far. And so get her information. She'll shoot it to you, the dates, the times, what order you're going to go in as far as the pitch is concerned, and if you have any technology, like if you have a PowerPoint or something like that, then she'll help follow up with you for what you need. For Be More Lit, the flyer will be coming out soon. You will pre-register as a vendor. It is free for youth age 14 to 21. If you're over 21, the fee is $150 for the vending space. If you have a young person with you, you're an adult, but you're mentoring a young person that's with you, then the fee is cut in half to $75 for your vending table.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, so you'll get the flyer. I'll make sure Chap gets the flyer and shoots that out to you guys as soon as possible.
All right. So I guess the other guys, let me get Elijah back on. So Charlie, oh man, what do you think? Think you'd be doing this doing something else? You're scared? You're happy? Or
So
how
what?
you
Good
feel
luck.
about because Charlie's is brand new. This guy got his first customer Sunday, right? So you have the most freshest perspective on any entrepreneur in Baltimore, 100% sure. Where's I don't know, how do you feel about it?
Um, it feels great. It's a start.
Man, a few words. Um, yeah, I don't know. I was happy for him. We went out for less than an hour Sunday, and this guy had $60 in his pocket, and I made him buy me a Gatorade because it was hot. But I know it's empowering. It's empowering. You guys can speak to it more than me. I've always worked for the most part, but to be your own boss, to have the amount of money in your pocket equivalent to the amount of effort, hopefully, that you're putting in. Not having to work 25 hours to make an X amount of dollars, but doing 25 work in 3 hours and getting that same amount of money. There's value in that, right? I know some of you more experienced guys can speak more to that.
Well, one thing I like to say that as someone who's been self-employed most of my entire life, these young men who have these businesses are amazing. You guys already had the foundations there. Even you, Charlie, even though you're nervous, you are providing a service and you have the materials you need to do to provide that service. So you already are more than halfway there. There's a few things that you young people have to understand when you're doing a business. And one of them is, are you doing a service business or are you doing a business where you're actually selling a product? And Charlie, you're doing a service. So you have all the materials you need. Everything else is like profit at this point. So you're well on your way. Learning how to speak to people. Like Quida said, you're going to be nervous. I don't care how seasoned you are. I don't care what the situation is. You're going to be nervous knocking on doors. You're going to be nervous making cold calls. And it's a numbers game. The more doors you knock on, the more calls you make, the more people you speak to, it's going to become easy. You're going to create your own elevator pitch over time. It will come over time. You won't even know you're trying to make an elevator pitch. It's going to come from repetition. So keep knocking. You're going to have some people that come to the door and be negative, but I guarantee you're going to have more positives than negatives, because your spirit is already there. You're a good guy. People will pick up on that really quickly. I heard you mention you're a big guy, but your spirit is bigger than bigger than your physical body. Your spirit is people are going to feel that before they even open the door. So be confident in that, and you'll be fine. The other thing is, guys, I've been listening to you all talk, and I think that Charlie, I'm gonna keep picking on you. But in business, there are two people. There are the front man and the artist. There's the front man and the artist. I'm gonna say that again. Most of us end up doing both, but really we are either an artist or a front man. Charlie, you're an artist. I bet you will do a lawn and pick everything precisely, and it'll be just pristine and perfect and like the best lawn anybody ever done. But as far as your marketing strategies and you're talking to people and all that, you'll struggle with that, but you'll get it together. Vice versa, there's some front men who will come out there and knock on every door and get everybody to say yes. But then when they cut the lawn, it's like, it's good, but it's like, And so the best thing about business to realize who you are, and then your shortcoming. And that's, I'm an artist in my business. I'm not a good front man. So when I have somebody that can come speak for me, I do so much better. I'd rather just get the cars done. I just get in there and get the cars done. If I can have somebody just come out and knock on doors and talk to the customers and get the money straight, I don't even like to talk about the money. I just want to get the car done. A front man is like, yo, we need our money. Where's the cash? And so I'm just saying to all you young entrepreneurs, know who you are, whether you're the artist or the front man, and then work on those skills that you're not, or find somebody out there that can help you, who can help you in the part that you're not. Like you guys were just telling me to put a picture on my screen. I don't know how to do a picture. I got somebody now trying to help me with my Instagram page. I don't know how to do no daggone Instagram, but I watch the heck out of a car. So you know, we got to understand who we are, and we can go from there. But I can tell you, all you young men that are on here, you guys are awesome. You're on your way.
Big facts. Big facts. And Zion said he appreciated being on the show and talking to you guys. He had to go, but he's another one, man. And we didn't even get to, might have him on the show again because he is a strong person of faith. He's very confident. He's a front man, and I think he'll succeed well in what he was talking about with the agency, because every time we do stuff in the community, he makes himself available, and he's all about lifting other people up. And he has a heart for sports and athletes. And so, like, you marry that to, and he will do well. So we wish him luck as well. Just wanted to communicate with Elijah real quick, man. So I want to make sure you get that information on the screen, Elijah, because we need you at that vending experience, and we need you to send your pitch up the line. Like Lou was saying about knocking on doors, the more, it's the numbers game, right? The more you do and the more you hear no, you're closer to that yes. The more failures you experience, the closer you are to success. I tell people a lot, like, I didn't get this far by being successful, but I've learned a lot. I've had great experience, and that's one thing I can share with you guys. So, that's where I'm at.
Yes, I just want to say stay encouraged, be encouraged, because like we were saying in the beginning, you're going to take your lumps. Nothing just comes easy. That's because we're here for the trials and the tests, and that's why we're here. But your perseverance and your stick-to-itiveness will get you where you need to go. Have your vision. The Bible says, write your vision and make it plain. And so that's why it is very important for you to have your business plan in place, and for you to get the necessary support that you need to make yourself, successful in what you're doing. We're going to run with it. Once you write it, make it plain, you can run with it. And so I say, stick to it. You'll get there. Don't give up.
So let me ask you this, Danielle. Do you work with persons who are 21 and older at all, or do you only work with you?
So our cap is 25 for free. Our cap is, and when I say 25, so the young people who have been with us for a long time, they're now, like, our oldest young person is like 23. She's been with us for like 5 years now. And so she's now a facilitator and a teacher of our classes. And all of the No 21 usually fall in that place of mentorship. And so we do keep them on. We do pay them a stipend for helping us out. We also, in the workforce development side, we pay a stipend when we have the funding to do so. So they have the training. As they're going through the training, they're getting a paid opportunity. Then we help them find work or help them push their business. And so it's multiple ways that our organization works that way. If you're over 25, though, we are charging. So if you would like information, again, that's my email right there. You can get information for us, because I do consulting, business consulting, and it's usually to startup. So if you're past the startup point, then we're just partners and we're working it out, But if you're at the startup point, you haven't gotten it started yet, then I can help you get to the first base.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's what I was like, okay, we got the young kids covered. Okay, good. What about everybody else? Because a lot of people are starting businesses for the first time, don't have peers that they can turn to, and it's a passion of theirs. So, how do those people get help? And to be honest, if it's not something that you do, I'm sure you know of somebody who does. So it wasn't to say you should be filling this gap. It's just, well, what happens to the others? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that to a certain extent, we are like kind of the SBA, but for youth.
Yeah.
Definitely an incubator or accelerator for young people. And when I find with adults, though, a lot of times it's hard for them to get out of their head. With the young people, they are so creative. There are no barriers to what they want to do.
No,
The
because they're
life
gonna conquer the world.
they on top, you know what I mean? They gets it done. You know, really adults is a lot of that self-talking. It's a change of mentality that has to happen. And so after that initial meeting, they sometimes most of the time adults don't come back, where young people keep coming. You know, that's
That
just
is
how it is.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so I started, so that's why, and it's actually this year that I started to think about charging adults, because now you're using my time. So you're taking my time, I'm pouring into you knowledge and everything else, then I don't see you anymore.
And then you don't come
You know,
back.
so,
Right.
so if you know, so definitely we're thinking about putting together consulting packages for adults, or even having a course that adults can take separately from our young people. So yeah,
Yep.
we're putting it together now.
But that's beautiful because, again, like we're talking about how your business is evolving. That isn't where you started, but
Right.
you've noticed, you know what, this system needs to change because these
Yes.
folks are wasting my time. And time is everything. It's more than money. It's everything because you can never get it back. And
Right.
so this way, you know, people are going to think twice about, do I really want this help? Am I really going to stick to this plan? And that makes your time more valuable. So that's awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one more time, I'm sorry, Chap, I know you want to say something, but one more time, Danielle, when are your 2 events?
We have July 29th. July 29th is coming up next week, and that event is going to be from 12:30 to 3. And I'll make sure you get a flyer, of course. And then the pop-up is on August the 6th, and that's going to run from 12:30 to 4.
Perfect, perfect. And Chap, I know I tuned in a little bit late, but we're always on Saturdays at the New Lake Clifton High School, 2555 Harford Road, passing out food, produce boxes with Rise City Church, Creative Influence. Come on, Chap, help me out. It's like 10 folks out here. Power Fed.
Creative Influence is the catalyst. Rise City Church comes out and volunteers with them. Power Fest Baltimore, we come out and volunteer with them. And there's several other organizations. DJ Harmonics is out there, just putting some gospel on blast. It's amazing because he's a mixologist with the gospel, which is a unique niche for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a better job at getting the other organizations because I know there's on Tuesday there's some sort of campfire thing that goes on. Cecil Kirk has their Wednesday community stuff going on. There's something almost every day from all the different organizations. So I'm gonna do better at plugging those things. But
So Saturday, just for the record, I am still undefeated. I'm still beating the kids out there. Couple little young men thought they were fast. I'm still undefeated. Anybody got some kids out there in radio land think they fast? Come see me Saturday morning.
Please, somebody show up with some fast feet because this man is always talking about how fast he is. Kids, come out there. Come on.
We're talking little kids, not no high school kids. I can't beat y'all.
Real quick, I want to holler at Elijah real quick. So, Elijah, what do you think, man? You think we can get you on this? Get you to make some soak up and get out to this vendor show?
Yeah.
What you need to make that happen? We got you, bro. Say the word.
Actually, I have some left over, so I can just make some. So I should be good.
Yep. Let's do it. All right, I'm encouraged, man. We're gonna. This guy, let me tell you,
Listen, Elijah said you ain't got to get ready if you stay ready. Okay? He said what? You ain't said nothing. I'm gonna just tell me where it's at. I'm gonna show up. You know what?
I love it.
I like that.
And I appreciate you guys being on the show because, like Lou was saying, like I'm the front man. I can get people hyped. I can connect people. I'm not the greatest at like the finance figure. Like I'm terrible at making money, but I'm real good at putting people together and bringing things together to make money. So there's all kinds of different components and roles I think in entrepreneurship, and to acknowledge where you're weak. Then it's just important to surround yourself with people that have strengths, right? So Charlie, you are good at what you do. You're honing your craft. You are an artist. Elijah, you as well. I mean, you're good at what you do. You're an artist. embrace that, learn the other stuff, and where the gaps are, people like myself, Lewis, Quida, Danelle, in the least, and tons of other Baltimore family will step into the gap with you guys and just make sure you're successful. We need you guys to be successful. We need you guys to be successful, meeting community needs while being self-sustaining, because you're generous men. You're men of quality, because I've known you guys. I've known this. Charlie's my middle son. Elijah is one of my sons from Baltimore that I've known for many years now, and I can tell you they're men of quality, and I need them to be successful. I need them to have wealth, because I know what these men will do with the wealth. They will give it all away to those who need it. They will pour that wealth back into their community. Like Charlie made money on Sunday, and the first thing he said to me, because his brother's starting a business cleaning cars and detailing cars, and sort of a cleaning in the cleaning wheelhouse. And Charlie said to me, "Man, your car looks great, Dad. Like Shawnee did that. Let me take the money I made and reinvest some of that into him and pay him to clean my room." And I'm like, man, this is like a micro community right here, because Charlie went out, started his own business, made money, took a portion of that money, and is ready to pour it into the next small business coming up. And and it's just, that's what we all need to do as a Black community, as a community in Baltimore. We need to rebuild Black Wall Street in the same way. So if we're out here being successful, making money, we don't need to keep it all. We need to give it away, because the more we give it, the more we get. You can't outgive God, right? So
right.
Making this money, we need to spend it on our Black business owners, put it in the Black banks, put it in the Baltimore local businesses, and local businesses that are taking care of the community. And you know who they are through relationships. You know that Terra Cafe hooks a community up. You know that what's my man Kermit with the moving company? This guy always shows up when a nonprofit needs help moving stuff. This dude shows up. Lewis has done events for family members and community members, and he's just showed up for them when they were in need, with Power Events USA, which is something he didn't mention, but it's another thing he does. Quida, you showed up in Cecil Kirk in a huge way. Like, the director over there won't shut up about you. Like, it's amazing, right? But we need to invest in the businesses that are rooted in the community, because that's the only way we're going to change or make the changes we need to change, or see the changes we need.
Agreed. Just 3 quick points before we close out. I just wanted to make sure that the young men know I put my email address in there. Any of you young entrepreneurs that need any advice, any help, please hit me up. I'll be willing to just give you any kind of information you need to help get you going. Like I said, I've been self-employed most of my life. I took a break and went into corporate America for 12 years, but now due to COVID, it wasn't even my choice, but back to being self-employed again, and I'm loving it. I've been self-sustaining. I've been sustaining myself, paying mortgage and things like that. That's important. If you're going to get in the business for yourself, there is cool to, make a couple extra dollars, but when you can get in the business and you're paying your mortgage and your car note and, grocery shopping and clothing yourselves and taking care of your family, then you truly are a businessman or woman. And I've experienced that. So definitely give me a call and let me know. The other thing is, guys, I really wanted to say this is very important. I know that a couple of you all talked about some spiritual points about business. Affirmations are super important. Charlie, for you especially, man, I get so nervous, and I will admit to everybody that's on this radio show right now that I suffer from dyslexia, and I get anxiety when it comes time to having to read something like out in public in front of everybody. And it's as much as I can talk and as much as I can gab, that it gives me an anxiety. So what I do is I affirm myself that I am awesome at reading. I'm awesome at doing this stuff. Charlie, when you're knocking at doors, this will be a big job. This will be $100 job. This man or this woman is going to receive me when I step up to this porch. Affirm it, put it out there, put it in the atmosphere. Every morning before you start going out and talking to people, put it in the atmosphere how awesome you are. My business is a multi-million-dollar business. Say it every morning. My business is a multi-million-dollar business. And I do that all the time. And it helps me to be able to make it. And the last thing I wanted to say is just that I just want to continue to thank everybody who gives me an opportunity to give my 2 cents on this show. Chap, Quida, Dayson's not on here. But I do appreciate you on what you've been doing for the community. This is an amazing thing. Every week, I mean, this show should be overflowing with people tuning in, because it's always positive. Always come away from this learning something and meeting new friends. So thank you guys.
Yeah, and I'll say real quick too, Quita, before you hop in. Thank you, Donnie Glover, for the platform and the giving us the mic to share our space with people in Baltimore who are doing things. And thank you, Lewis, for that.
Yep, I was just gonna say thank you, Lewis.
Yep.
Like, everybody, you're welcome. You're all welcome. It's enough for everybody to eat, even if we're doing the same exact thing. Because you got to remember, marketing is key. So as soon as y'all get y'all systems in place, we'll help you with the marketing. We'll walk you through each of those steps. And like Lewis said, like, you have our information. So whenever you're like, I don't know how to have, call one of us. We're all on the social medias, and we probably, the thing is, we probably have 10 different solutions for you because we've been through it time and time again. And then we can collaborate and figure out what's best for you all. But
Amen.
yeah, I'm so glad that Chap and Donnie shared this platform with me and let me to all the folks, because y'all know I can run my mouth. But we'll be back next Monday at 7 p.m. Same bat time, same bat channel, right?
Yes, ma'am. So next week, so thank you guys all for your time. Thank you again, Donnie, bmorenews.com, blackusa.news. And a shout out to the other shows and the evening shows on their sister biz, Party Marty. I can't remember them all, so forgive me. I'll get it straight. But as well as I just like to thank you guys very much, Elijah and Charlie, for your time. I know you guys could be gaming or doing teenage summer things. You took time to talk to us, and I would love to just get you guys connected with some of the programs and things going on to help you be more successful. So I appreciate your time, Danelle. I appreciate you so much. We didn't spill the beans on everything she does, but she gave us a little bit of tip of the iceberg. She does a lot in the community. I'm a huge advocate for the youth ever since I met her. So I appreciate you. Lewis, my brother, we're going to get Power Fest done in June, and we're going to do it. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
And you just keep doing you, and whatever you need, you can call us. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone have a good night.
Y'all be safe.